Hello, and thank you for another episode with Empower with Nancy. Today, I'm going to talk about something that is painful for some of us who really don't have boundaries. And so, have you ever noticed from time to time, within your job, that no matter how exhausted you are, you still say yes. You say yes to everything because you don't know how to say no. You answer all the calls, you always fix the problems. You stay super late. You stay super late at work, and then you come home and work more hours. You overgive to everyone. You carry everyone's emotions and their stress. You become the strong one. You are the dependable one. You are everyone that leans on. Like you are constantly, everyone leans on you. And secretly, that you're completely terrified of what happens if you what? Completely stop. Because somewhere along the way, you learn that your value came from what you do for people, not who you are. And I want you to think about that because this is super important. People feel that boundaries is negative. Boundaries meaning that you don't want to help anybody. Why? When we stay in this state of mind, what does our nervous system do to us? And it says to us, and sometimes the storytelling, what does that say to you? And what does it say? It says, if I stop performing, if I stop rescuing, being the go to person that knows everything, if I stop proving, guess what? What do you think that's the first thing that comes to your mind? That you're not valuable anymore, that it won't matter anymore. And that's the part nobody talks about. The reason why you don't have boundaries isn't because you're weak. It is because you built your identity around what? Being needed. Sometimes we feel that we need to be needed in order for us, for everyone else, maybe your boss, leadership. Everyone says, oh my gosh, you know, Nancy does a great job. Tim does a great job. Sally does a great job. Tina does a great job. And she's the go to for everything. You call her, she's going to answer. She has all the answers for everything. And when you become that person, you feel valuable. But the minute you hold the boundary, you immediately say to yourself that I can't do this. That means I'm replaceable. That means it just I don't matter anymore. And eventually that becomes your emotional what? Survival. So today we're going to talk about the hidden addictions to overworking, overgiving, and over functioning. And so why so many high achievers, women, men, feel guilty the second that they choose themselves. Because this isn't just about boundaries, guys. This is about your self-worth. So, why do high achievers struggle without boundaries? Most people think that boundaries are about time management. They're not. Boundaries are identity management. Because if your identity has been built around being dependable, saving people, overperforming, fixing everything, making everyone comfortable, making everyone else's job better, more easier. It's that accountability. Then boundaries feel emotionally unsafe to us. Why? Boundaries force you to face this painful question. Who am I if I'm not constantly needed? That's why some people feel anxiety, worry, fear, and they can't rest. They feel that they're replaceable, they're not needed anymore. Oh my goodness, what happens if I don't have this job? You see like the same patterns show up over and over and over again. And it's that identity, it's that story that you keep telling yourself. And guess what? It becomes the reality. Thoughts become things. If you're going to fear or worry that you're not going to be valued anymore and that you're going to lose your job, then that's what's going to happen. You make that choice. That's why some people literally feel guilty relaxing. Trust me, I've been there, done that. And sometimes I still feel that. I'll be honest with you. But the moment I had that trigger and that feeling, I squash it. Said, nope, not going to believe it. It's just this storytelling that I'm placing in my head. That's why some people panic when they disappoint someone. Oh shit, I just disappointed. I set a boundary. Hacking, they're going to hack me. I'm not going to be needed anymore. They're going to talk about me. And then you're worried about what other people think about you. No, because everyone's nervous system has connection, right? It's connected to what? Love, sacrifice, worth, productivity, acceptance, performance. It goes on, right? And if you grew up receiving validation for being responsible, for being strong, being helpful, or selfless, you may have unconsciously learned that pattern. I earn love by abandoning myself. Is that true? Absolutely not. But these are the thoughts that we have growing up. It's coming from somewhere. So that becomes dangerous as an adult. It truly, truly does. Because now you are going to attract what? Emotionally draining relationships, hands down, one sided friendships, toxic friendships, toxic work environments. You're going to have burnout to no tomorrow. The burnout's going to be so bad, you're not going to even know how to get out of it. Leadership roles where everyone depends on you and you keep tolerating it because being needed makes you valuable. Does this all make sense? Does this resonate with you? Because trust me, I have been in your seat and worked my ass off, built multi-billion-dollar businesses. I have sacrificed some of my family because I am a workaholic at trait. I mean, I am. I work. But I've learned over the years that I have to set boundaries because at the end of the day, when I did all of this, I was starting a family. My kids were growing up. There's times where I missed plays at school or baseball, football with my son. And that right there, you can't get back. So the real cost of no boundaries, what is that? Here's the problem that nobody warned you about. The more that you abandon yourself, the more resentment builds underneath. And then you start feeling emotionally exhausted, disconnected, angry, overwhelmed, unappreciated. But instead of changing that pattern, you work harder, you give more, you try to earn the appreciation, and eventually your body starts screaming. Anxiety, fatigue, burnout, irritable, emotionally exhausted, and numbness. You're not creating to earn your worth through exhaustion. And one of the most painful realization is some people only love the version of you that had no boundaries, no hurts. And that does hurt. But it's important to understand because the moment that you start saying, no, I can't, that doesn't work for me, I need rest, I deserve support. Watch how uncomfortable some people become, not because you've changed negatively, but because they benefited your lack of boundaries. Why boundaries feel so hard? Boundaries feel painful when your identity is attached to external validation. And many high achievers don't realize that they're addicted to being emotionally needed. Needed feels safe, needed feels important, needed creates significance overall, builds health and love. Healthy leadership does not require self destruction. Healthy success should not cost you peace. You do not have to blend and with everything else that you are emotionally burnt out with. Don't bleed that value anymore for you. And honestly, a lot of people confuse overworking with purpose, but exhaustion is not purpose. Burnout is not passion. Self neglect is definitely not leadership. So, how do you change all of this? The healing starts when you stop asking, how do I make everyone happy? And start asking yourself, what is this costing me? It's costing your peace, your health. It's costing your relationships, your marriage, your energy, your confidence, your identity. It goes on, right? Because every time that you betray yourself to keep others comfortable, you reinforce the belief that your needs matter less. So here's where boundaries truly begin, not with saying no to others, but with finally saying yes to yourself. Yes to rest. Yes to honesty. Yes to emotional safety. Yes to your own needs. Yes to protecting your energy. And yes to no longer proving your worth through suffering. You don't have to prove your worth to anybody but yourself. As long as you are doing your job and you don't have to focus on worrying and fearing that you're going to lose your job and not feeling valuable, that you're going to be replaceable. Everyone's replaceable, but you don't have to keep that in your mindset. You're doing your job and you say to yourself, they need me because I am confident, I am good at what I do, I'm honest, I'm dependable. They need me. I don't need you. And the minute you change that mindset, you will skyrocket it. You will know to set those boundaries. And I want you to hear this extremely clearly that you do not need to become more valuable by overworking yourself into complete burnout, exhaustion. No, you are already valuable before you started proving this to anybody. And that is what you need to believe. I hope this all resonated with you. And I know a lot of people are going through this. And I'm sure my listeners listening, whoever's listening to this episode, I'm sure you can understand and it resonates. But guess what? You get to make that change. Stop being the go-to person for everything. Because sometimes, or not sometimes, when we do this, you're creating your own chaos and exhaustion and burnout. And maybe this season, if I could say that, season of your life isn't about becoming more. Maybe it's about finally realizing that you are enough, that your value does not increase when you abandon yourself. And healing becomes the moment that you stop earning your worth and start embodying it, believe it, own it. Feel that confidence, see it, believe it. You can do it. Trust me. Don't overthink it. Don't focus on whatever that outcome is. If you set these boundaries that you're going to lose everything. It's a story that you keep telling yourself. Thank you so much for listening to my episode today. I hope this resonated with you. I hope it helped you. If it did, please share it with a friend, a coworker, anybody that you feel needs to hear this. And remember that boundaries are not rejections. They are self-respect to yourself. And always remember that you have full control of the will and that you can have and do anything that you want. With much love, Nancy.